The development of the right and left brain hemisphere is quite an interesting subject and leads us back to some of the first yogis that have left written records and instructed others about yoga. Within Patanjali Yoga Sutra, the first thing Patanjali looked at once he suggested that we start examining the science of yoga was the body and the way we breathe. Breathing is very important within the yogic thought. We breathe through two nostrils, and we predominantly breathe through left or right nostrils throughout our day. Nostrils and the dominance of the predominant nostril changes at all times. Now, what is interesting is that yogi have connected left nostril with the right brain hemisphere, and they connected the right nostril, the right side of the body, with the left brain hemisphere. Once we have a person that breathes predominantly with the left nostril, you're looking at somebody who actually has the state of mind that is predominantly within the meditation, relaxation, contemplation, writing. If you are looking at a person who has the right nostril dominant, you're looking at somebody who is more oriented towards action. You're looking at somebody who is doing some work, who is giving a presentation, or is very logical while he's talking. Yogis have developed different methods to actually stimulate the breathing through one nostril or the other nostril, claiming that these methods, these tools, will then work opposite. So if a person is within the sphere of the left brain development, which is more logical and analytical, and if he is predominantly at that point breathing with the right nostril, we will have the opposite phenomenon occurring, which is if we breathe through the right nostril or do exercises that connect us to the right side of our body, our left brain will become mordant. So the same thing is with the right brain environment, which is more intuitive, thoughtful and creative, and the left nostril dominance breathing. So if a person who is into the space of creative, of meditation, of contemplation, of reading, is at that point functioning mainly from the right hemisphere, he will be breathing through the left, more dominantly through the left nostril. Yogi would then suggest that breathing through the left nostril and doing exercises that are connected to the left side of the body will activate and energize the right brain, will activate and energize the part of the brain that is more intuitive, more thoughtful, and more creative. Within the society, we have a lot of people working on the logical thing, on the structure, on this action-based way of brain mode. If we want to increase the creativity and go back into the space of intuitive, into the space of the life flow of learning subconsciously from the life flow around us, then we will first create an environment around us that is loving and peaceful. We want to give ourselves this gift of a warm and loving and gentle environment that actually stimulates and gives us a possibility to go into the meditation and contemplation. If we are in the space of peaceful, if we give ourselves a gift of harmony, then we will be able to appreciate beauty a bit more. We will enter into the space of beauty, into the space of creative, into the space of intuitive. Also, taking care of our physical existence, we will give ourselves a gift of proper nutrition, because eating lots of fresh organic fruits and veggies will strengthen our immune system, will give us all these magical antioxidants and vitamins and minerals, so we will not need to bother with diseases. We will not need to bother with constant exhaustion, with constant mental stress. We will let go, with a proper nutrition, we will let go of the disturbance of the chemistry that might exist within our body, that might inhibit the way we creatively express ourselves. We will spend a lot of time in nature. With regular exercise and contact with nature, we will be able to get inspired by a beauty that is all around us, by the life force that exists within every single flower pattern. It is clear that our state of consciousness is very, very different when we are in the center of a busy city, crossing a street, surrounded with all the noise that exists at that particular point around us. And if we are in the middle of the forest, contemplating the shade of a tree. So this isolation that takes us into nature can give us beautiful insights, can allow our soul to go into the silence, and within the silence we will be able to sense the beauty of divine. So practice regularly, daily, conscious jogging or conscious swimming or conscious walking within this environment, natural environment that will subconsciously feed you with some beautiful impulses. If you try to do any activity the best you can, you will work with both sides of your brain. If we take a mundane activity of washing the dishes and we do it very hastily, we're going to get rid of it, we will often get problems with that activity. activity because we dislike it. We will be working on finalize the steps of that activity without experience of pleasure. Now, if we try to do any activity the best we can, we will enter into the space of meditation even when we are washing the dishes. The art of doing it perfect can be very, very, very beautiful. Longer we do an activity, more we can enter the meditation, more we can enjoy this process of doing it perfect. This is a step that brings mindfulness in every action around us. This is a step that brings mindfulness into our life. Bringing mindfulness into our life, we actually consciously start observing and enjoying the life flow that exists around us. If you wish to further develop your left and right side of the brain, use writing of poetry. Use writing of very short haiku poems that will inspire you by just looking at a breeze, or looking at a wave, or looking at a cat. Express what your soul sees in this particular scene. Write it down in a short poem. No matter what the form of this poem is, no matter what the structure is while you are writing, no matter is it good or not, just use this tool as a beautiful tool to connect you to the present moment. Early morning writing of the soul's diary also connects us to this intuitive being that exists within us. It also gives the soul a possibility to express itself. Early morning writing is not structured writing, is not writing about a particular subject. It is a stream of consciousness writing that occurs with the flow. So if you do not disturb this flow, if you just let your inner being express without any judgment, without any listening, without any structure, with no bringing of thoughts within this stream of consciousness writing, you will learn a lot of things about yourself and about how your soul functions. The development of thoughts should go hand in hand with the development of feeling and heart. That is why Buddhists so much encourage people to develop the feeling of love and compassion within their lives. Going back into the development of love and compassion, bring us back to our intuitive self, help us develop our thoughts even more, even further. Now, another beautiful tool within the space of creativity is this tool of not hurrying, is this tool of merging with the life flow, is this tool of mindfulness that can be used within every single day situation. Now, when you're walking and you're walking mindfully, you first observe yourself breathing, you observe yourself walking. You're conscious of your feet, of your legs, of your muscles. You're conscious of the air that's around you. You're conscious of the environment around you. You're conscious of the flowers or animals or stones that you're passing at that particular point. You are mindful of the activity of the walk. To be able to do this, you do need to switch off your mobile and take off your watch, because watch and mobile will be taking care of your time, and you need time to start becoming mindful. You need time to become curious and inquisitive and to experience this wonder towards life that exists within each one of us. We will need to take risk to become creative. We will need to make mistakes, and we need to be willing to take risks. We will have to have the courage to be creative. To gain this courage, we need to know how to experiment. We need to know how to be curious and persistent within this curiosity. We need to understand the wonder of life. We need to dive into the wonder of life, and for this we need time. Going back to the core beliefs that identify who we are, we connect this development of the left and right side of the brain sphere to the core beliefs that we have within ourselves, changing our core beliefs, allowing ourselves to develop alternative and balanced belief, allowing ourselves not listen to social norms, allowing ourselves to go a step further than what is socially accepted, will bring us into the space of creativity. We're bombarded with these messages, what to believe in and how to think, and when we draw on a piece of paper that already has drawings in it, so we have within our mind already created what something should look like or shouldn't look like. And to enter into the space of intuitive and meditative, we don't need lines, we don't need structure, we just need to devote time to the activity and to merge with the life flow. And then with the development of alternative beliefs to what is socially accepted, we will be able to merge with the flow and become more creative and develop both sides of the hemispheres in harmony. So once we are learning something, we should actually enjoy this learning. Should have the emotions involved within the process of learning. So challenge and explore your patterns of learning. To give yourself a space to invent new ones. Give yourself time and space for reflection, because this reflection will be a marvelous gift that will actually allow you to enter into different mental state, into the state of creative minds. Because we are bombarded by ready-made solutions, we need to isolate ourselves. We need to daily give ourselves this time of meditation, of silence, from all formulas that are given by society. And we need to seek for the answer inside ourselves. We will ask our inner being through the silence of meditation to give us an answer to the creative flow that we are after. also get inspiration from others, from music, from people, from nature. Open to new possibilities. It will give you an amazing expansion, this openness. It is interesting that music and arts are so much connected to this creative flow. Researchers show that artists are more likely to use both hemispheres of their brain than any other ordinary person. Artists, musicians use both hemispheres because they consciously worked on their right brain hemisphere, and it is easier for them to stay within the creative flow because they can tap into the potential that is brought forward by utilizing both brain hemispheres. The artists also know to over-exercise this particular hemisphere and not to be able to function within the day-to-day structured and organized world. So their task is to bring the structure and to bring the rhythm into their lives, because this structure and rhythm will give them a possibility to contact their inner being, a possibility to open to the creative flow. And back to what we were talking about, challenging the existent and challenging the conventional. To be creative is to choose to be different from everyone else. So if you wish to balance the development of left and right side of your brain, work on creating this space where you can do meditation, where you can mindfully walk through nature, where you can mindlessly swim, where you can practice Tai Chi or yoga or Qigong, play chess, write poetry, try haiku poetry, write your soul's diary early in the morning, following a stream of consciousness writing, learn a new language, experiment with different art forms, and do not get scared of dirty feet, because dirty feet will bring you a happy soul. So take a drum and drum for half an hour without using any rhythm or structure. Just intuitively play this drum. Utilize music, utilize art, and utilize this silence. Utilize the silence that exists within you. If you practice meditation, you will learn how to create silence within you. Creating the silence within you, you'll give your soul space to express. The development of the right and left brain hemisphere is quite an interesting subject and leads us back to some of the first yogis that have left written records and instructed others about yoga. Within